Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about the simulation of an LC commutation circuit of ACR using NI multisim. So before I talk about the commutation of an ACR, let me start by telling you what is an ACR. An ACR is nothing but a silicon control rectifier. It is a multi-layered semiconductor device which has three PN junctions, and it is a three-terminal device which is labeled the anode, the cathode, and the gate. It is a pulse trigger device, therefore it switches on only when a pulse is given to the gate terminal, and once it switches on, the gate terminal loses its control on the SCR. It is a unidirectional device, that is, it will conduct current only in one direction, and it can operate only in switching mode and cannot be used for amplification. And the next question that might arise is, what is commutation? Commutation in the context of an SCR is a term used to describe the process of turning off an SCR. By turning the SCR off, we bring it from the forward conducting to the forward blocking mode. And the conditions to be satisfied are the value of the anode current IA must be less than the value of the holding current IH, and the reverse voltage must be applied for the sufficient time for the SCR to attain the blocking state. And there are different types of commutation, namely natural commutation and forced commutation. Natural commutation takes place in AC circuits where the voltage naturally reaches zero value and the SCR can turn off. As far as DC circuits are concerned, once an SCR switches on, it cannot switch off on its own. So we have to switch it off by forcing it, and hence the name forced commutation. And among force commutation, there are two types, basically current commutation and the voltage commutation. Current commutation again has two types in it. Class A commutation, which is also called as the load commutation. Class B commutation, which is also called as the LC commutation or the resonant commutation. And among voltage commutation, it has three types. One is Class C commutation, also called as complementary commutation. Class D commutation, also called as the impulse commutation. Class C commutation, also called as the external pulse commutation. This is a circuit which I have used to use in NI multisim to get the waveforms for LC commutation. It basically consists of an DC supply, an SCR, the load resistance R1, and the LC circuit, LC resonant circuit, which is responsible for the commutation. This circuit has been made using NI multisim, and this is a signal generator which has been given to the gate terminal such that the SCR can switch on. And this is the oscilloscope which we have used so that we can observe the waveforms across the um, thyristor, which is nothing but the SCR, as well as the load. So let me explain how commutation actually takes place. So initially, as soon as the supply voltage EDC is supplied, the capacitor C starts getting charged, with its upper plate acting as positive and the lower plate acting as the negative, and it continues to charge up till the supply voltage EDC. And once the thyristor or the SCR T is triggered, the circuit current flows in two directions. The load current IL flows to the path voltage, thyristor, and the load, and the commutation current flows to the path L and C. And the moment thyristor T is turned on, the capacitor C starts discharging through the path C, L, and T. So it charges in the direction LC, but it discharges in the opposite direction CL. And when the capacitor C becomes completely discharged, it starts getting charged with reverse polarity due to the charge which has been stored in the inductor. And due to the reverse voltage, a commutation current IC starts flowing in the opposite direction, which will oppose that of the load current. And when the commutation current IC is greater than that of the IL, the cathode is more positive compared to the anode, and at that point the thyristor switches off, and the capacitor, once it switches off, the capacitor C starts getting charged once again, and thus thus when it gets finally charged, capacitor T turns on again. So from this we can understand that the thyristor is getting switched on and off on its own, and this process of switching on and off is a continuous process, and the desired frequency of on and off states can be obtained by designing the commutation components, that is the L and C components, as well as the load radiations are. We can use it to control the frequency at which the on and off states can be obtained. And basically, this type of commutation is used in DC chopper circuit, where the thyristor is required to be on for a specific duration of time, and then it is required to be off for a specific duration of time. Now let's look at the output waveforms across the thyristor and across the load. This is a waveform across the load, and as you can see, initially when the thyristor T is switched off, the voltage across the load is 0, and as soon as the thyristor switches on, its value keeps on increasing, and at this point the capacitor charge starts to discharge, and as a result of which, when we apply KCL, we can find out that the voltage across the load becomes twice that of the supply voltage, and it increases to 2V, that is nothing but the twice that of the supply voltage, and capacitor starts to discharge charge again, so as a result of which the value decreases yet again. And the waveforms across the load and to that of the thyristor are complementary in nature. And now let's look at the waveform across the thyristor. This is a waveform across the thyristor, and as you can see, initially when the thyristor is switched off, the voltage across it is Vmax. There is nothing but the voltage across this voltage supplied by the supply, which is VDC. And as soon as it starts getting triggered, as soon as the capacitor starts getting discharged, the thyristor starts to get switched on. So as a result of it, the voltage across the thyristor comes down, and one and the thing that we have to keep in mind is when the thyristor is switched on, the voltage across it will be 0. So it reaches a certain minimum point, and since the commutation current is acting in adding up to that of the load current, the voltage value decreases furthermore, and when the capacitor starts to charge again, the thyristor switches off and the voltage value increases yet again. And as we have already seen, this is a waveform across the load, this is a waveform across the SCR, and the peak commutation current, the thing about the peak capacitor current is given by VDC into root of C by L, where VDC is the supply voltage, and the turn off time is given by T off is equal to pi divided by 2 into root CL. Thanks a lot for watching our video.